Hello, everybody. This is Tyler Tolman, coming to you live from Bali, Indonesia. I'm just checking on with this attendees list, see who we got here. Just go ahead and raise your hand if you can hear me out there in internet world. Sergio Vila, Peter Callista, how you doing? Welcome. Matt Hutchinson, thanks for being here. Karen Trickett, Joe Rosenberg, Isabella Mataki, Jane Priestman, Dawn Ferguson. Welcome. Hello, guys. Thank you so much. Looks like a few of you can hear me. So we still have a few minutes, just people coming on. What we'll do is maybe test out the little questions box. I see a few of you have already found it. I forgot what question I asked. What was it? From Sergio. I do have some questions here. So hopefully, if you've asked the questions on the registration form, I'll have them and I can pull them up and hopefully get to your question. Got Isabella. Hi, Tyler. Nice to be here. Jane, hiya. Elizabeth Eames wrote Elizabeth Eames. How are you? So welcome. If you can find the little questions box, and just type something in there, whether it's hello or hello, how you doing? I can hear you. This is the place to write your questions during the webinar. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Sergio again. Jane Priestman, what are your thoughts on goat cheese? Lots of very good questions here. Hi, mate, from Ulysses Tixera. Hopefully I got that right. I'm usually pretty good with names. Hello, Tyler, from Lorraine Hayden. Hello, Lorraine. Dawn Ferguson. Hi, Tyler. Great day in the world. Yes, it is. I don't have a little hand anywhere. Elizabeth, hope you can figure that out. I'm eating walnuts from Sergio. Awesome. Good brain food. Growing your brain as we speak is a good thing. Hey, from Lala Gasanova. Hello. Karen Trickett, hello. Hi, Tyler. Raced in the door. Now with you, Peter Blaine. Welcome. Cool. So we still got people coming on. We're a couple minutes after the hour. Today's webinar is just all about answering questions. I do a lot of webinars, have a lot of questions, and sometimes I don't get around to them. I am in Bali, by the way, so occasionally in Bali we have this internet issue. So if you're experiencing internet problems or you can't hear me, just raise your hand and I'll kind of stop where I'm at and see if I can get the audio back on track and then get back to you once again. So I do have a bunch of loaded questions here that you guys posted online. I really appreciate you guys going and doing that. So without further ado, I'm going to just jump into answering some questions here. And if while I'm talking it sparks anything, feel free to ask questions in the questions box. And if I make a comment that doesn't make sense or you have a disagreement or would like to add something, please feel free to do that in the comments box at all. I love for this to be kind of an open forum and discussion. And if you have anything, any information that maybe I'm lacking or anything to add, whatever, I'm totally open to reading and having a conversation with my computer. So, without further ado, I did have a question here. I'm just actually going to pull up, I have a little form that I can read off of here. I know you might not be able to see it. That's okay. Just bear with me for a second. I know we still got people jumping on as well. Okay, so I have a form here I'm looking at, and I will pop over and make sure you guys are all with me. Every once in a while, if I see a bunch of raised hands, I'll know maybe you can't hear me. But so far, so good. Looking pretty solid. So I'm just going to get started. The first question I have is the best source of iron. I am aware about spinach, lentils, etc. Any other suggestions? I am lacking badly and can't seem to get back to normal no matter what I try. Now, a lot of times when we're eating different foods, processed foods and things that exist in the world, there can be things that happen in the digestive system and within our body that can cause blockages and cause trouble when it comes to actually getting what we need from food. The colon is a very amazing organ that exists for extracting nutrition and for doing different things. So, if I knew somebody that is having issues with iron, now again, you got to understand as well that if you get your blood drawn, depending on the time of day that you get your blood drawn, your iron might show high or low depending on what your body's using and what's happening within the body. So unless you're having like really bad symptoms, which would be maybe like white gums, your gums should be a fairly red color. Your fingernails should be nice and kind of pink. Um, you could be lethargic. You could have a miscoloration or having different symptoms of being low in iron. Same thing with like the color of the tongue. You can see it through a blood test. But typically, if you're eating a variety of whole foods, your body will get what it needs. And you'd be very surprised at the amount of food your body actually requires to get everything that it needs. It's actually quite small. And when we look into the longest lived cultures that exist on this planet, you'll find that they're eating a caloric intake of 12 to 1,800 calories per day. And it's just a variety of nuts and seeds, different grains, greens, and fruit. And a lot of them eat, quite a bit of fruit, almost like 50% fruit, and then 50% other, when it comes to greens and vegetables and different things of that nature. Now, again, things just like spinach and even dark greens, nuts have levels of iron that if you're lacking, your body will really use that. I've read articles where, it says that you need to have a certain amount of vitamin C or even citrus, like oranges and things of that nature, can help to facilitate your body using iron properly. So I'm hoping that helps. If you just have a really good green smoothie, pop in a couple big handfuls of kale or spinach, something of that nature. You should be getting a good amount of iron from that. I'm experiencing some technical difficulties from my computer at the moment. I think I spilt a little bit of water and it's acting up a little bit. So I apologize for that. Hopefully, I can get these questions back. It's causing my mouse to move a little bit and open up things that I'm not trying to open up. But anyways, I do have some of these other questions written down. Excuse me. So I'll just move on to the next one. Somebody asked, "How do I keep my blood thin?" Having issues with needing to take aspirin and things like that to keep the blood thin due to issues. And this person, I think, was using tomatoes and eating other types of foods to facilitate that. Now, one of the best foods that you can use is simply grapefruit. Grapefruit is absolutely fantastic for thinning the blood. And in fact, when you take blood thinners, if a doctor prescribes blood thinners, they'll tell you not to eat grapefruit. And the reason for that is it would be a doubling effect of the process of thinning your blood. What I would say is to not take blood thinner medication, but to simply eat grapefruit. And it's the white pectin inside of the grapefruit that has very specific acids that thin the blood and actually emulsify fat in the blood as well, which is a big cause for bad cholesterol. It's a big cause for high blood pressure, having too much accumulation of fat within the circulatory system, which can lead to strokes. It can lead to heart attacks. It can lead to atherosclerosis and many other different issues. So grapefruits are a fantastic thing to have in your diet. You will get a small amount from oranges and from lemons and limes and things of that nature as well. The next question that I have on here says from Sarah, "I have a common skin condition called keratosis pilaris. It looks like chicken skin on her arms, face, legs, and buttocks. I've started washing with bicarb and witch hazel and exfoliating, then also moisturizing with coconut oil. Is there anything else I can be doing to get rid of the redness? My skin is much smoother, but still has red spots. I've heard apple cider vinegar, but I'm not sure the best application for this." So I know that many of you are aware of this process called gua sha that I've been sharing for many years. Now, the thing that I haven't really shared is the entire process. A lot of times I post online about the skin cleaning, This is something I do quite often. I absolutely love it, and it's a really interesting feeling I get when I do it. But that's the bicarb of soda and vodka. For thousands of years, even all the way back in Egypt, they would distill alcohol from food, from potatoes, from grains, from different things, and they would use that alcohol to clean the skin. The Egyptians, in fact, were some of the most clean people, clean civilization of individuals that existed. The Greeks were very fascinated by the Egyptian people with their cleanliness. They would even shave their bodies to get rid of the hair because they believed that cleanliness was next to godliness, and they were all about being close to the divine source and all that good stuff. So if you simply mix bicarb of soda and vodka, it creates kind of a putty that you can use to scrub your skin all over your body. It gets rid of all of the acidic bacteria. It can get rid of parasites, yeast and molds and fungus that accumulate. A lot of people get athlete's foot, but you don't realize there's a lot of yeast infections and other fungus that can get in the skin and cause rashes and all types of other things, which is something this person may be experiencing. So there's actually two protocols. The first protocol is to use the bicarb of soda and vodka, which is a very high alkaline and a way to open up the skin and absolutely clean it out. The next one that you would come along with would be the apple cider vinegar, because that's a high acid. And again, the skin should maintain a slight level of acid normally. It's constantly eliminating different toxicity and acid from the body. Every cell, 76 trillion cells of the body, are constantly releasing a small amount of acid. So by exercising and sweating that out, we're perspiring every day, all day anyways. And by opening up the skin, we can really help the largest organ of the body to clean itself. And a lot of people really, how can I clean my liver? How can I keep my kidneys clean? They think of the importance of the liver, which is very important, but they don't realize that the skin essentially does the same thing. And if we open up the entire organ of the skin, which is the largest organ the body has, it really takes a lot of stress off of the liver, so the liver can do its job. The liver isn't just a filtering mechanism. It's also producing enzymes for eyesight, for digestion, and for doing a multiplicity of other things in the body. So the less we can use it as a filtering organ, the more health and life force and joy that we will experience. In fact, the liver is tied directly to anger as well. So if you have a toxic liver, you tend to be more angry or frustrated and have issues of that nature. So back to the protocols. The first protocol is the bicarb of soda and alcohol. You would scrub your whole body with that, rinse it off in the shower, and go ahead and then use apple cider vinegar. This is like if you really have a skin condition and you're really just wanting to have beautiful skin. This is something, the entire protocol, I might do maybe once a month or once every couple of weeks if I just really felt I needed to. So this would be taking literally some apple cider vinegar just in a bowl and having some type of scrubber brush and dipping it and then scrubbing your skin all over your body with the apple cider vinegar as well. Then if there are any, alkaline types of things that exist, it'll break that up. It's also an acid that can help to break up different calcification and just different stickiness that happens in the myofascial tissue. It'll help to open it up and free the skin from being stuck to that myofascial tissue, which happens in so many people as we age, just because we don't, keep our skin moving and open and alive with these different materials. The last process of gua sha would consist of taking like coconut oil and a tool. There's actually tools that you can buy at different health shops or different places, or you can simply find a stone down in the river or a lake or the ocean that has kind of a sharp edge, not sharp, but an edge that you can scrape your body with. And then you go out into the sun and you apply coconut oil onto your skin and you simply scrape your skin all over your hand, your forearm, your upper arm, your chest, your stomach, your legs, and you scrape every part of your body. And this really helps to separate your skin, which should be a thin layering and covering over the myofascial tissue. It'll help to open that up and to break it loose from that myofascial tissue, the fascia. And if you like grab your skin around your waist, around your stomach, and you feel how it's kind of thick and stuck, the skin should just be a slight covering over your entire body. And so doing these processes are absolutely phenomenal, but nothing will work on skin conditions like fasting. So really, when it really comes to somebody that has a skin condition or an issue with the skin, whether it be psoriasis or eczema or whatever the person is dealing with, like keratosis pilaris, then that's something that water fasting will absolutely knock out. There's been thousands of case studies at the Chicago University Biological Whole Laboratories have taken thousands of individuals with all kinds of conditions and fasted them on water for extended periods. And one of the number one things that they note in their studies is that skin conditions absolutely clear up. So it's, fasting, when you get to day 3 in a water fast, your body switches into a process called ketosis for fuel. You're no longer running on glycogen and foods for energy. You're running on ketosis, which the body essentially burns all of the toxic accumulation that the body has stored in different areas. It'll literally run around and take cancer cells and bacterial infections and all types of abnormal tissue even. You can even look up autolysis, kind of like an automatic autolysis. You can Google that and look it up, and autolyzing tumors and even abnormal growths within the body start to take place after 3 days of just drinking water. So once you start to clean up the act on the inside, the skin then becomes an organ that doesn't have to eliminate all this toxicity, and therefore the skin conditions clear up. So if you have rashes, if you have pimples, if you have any type of stuff going on with your skin, including warts and moles and age spots and all that stuff, is accumulation of toxicity that's coming out of your body in one way or another. So when you get into a situation of fasting, that clears up absolutely in an amazing way. Now, I would say in a water fast, your body, after the 3 days switching to ketosis, maybe after 7 to 10 days, becomes quite efficient in its process to use fat as fuel. Now, there's fantastic benefits that come from this. If your body's using fats for fuel, it's also eliminating a large amount of stem cells that are stored within the fat, so your body can regenerate tissue and do beautiful things. But it's not eliminating a high amount of toxicity like it was on day 3, day 4, and day 5. It becomes more efficient with fat burning. So I would say that if you have a skin condition, you would actually be better off to do maybe a 5 to 7 day water fast, then maybe go back to juices, go back to nourishing yourself, for a week, and then go back into that water fast, because it's at that 3 to 5 day window where it's almost like opening up the furnace in your house, in your body, and just throwing in loads and loads of toxins. So short fasts of 3 to 5 days are absolutely fantastic for really ridding the body of a lot of these toxins. And I promise you, with doing this skin cleaning and doing some fasting, that keratosis pilaris skin condition will vanish. And the only issue that you might have is when you get back into your lifestyle, it may come back, which is a definite key to look at your lifestyle and maybe modify your lifestyle into eating healthier. Okay, I had another question, and the question was, what do I do for a sensitive digestive system? And I'm just going to pull up the exact question here, so I can read it. And it says, "Hi, Tyler. How should I treat my sensitive digestive system? At the moment, I am not eating fruits, apart from lemon, lime, and avocados, and focusing on green juice and salads. with oil, lemon dressing. Anything else makes my stomach and colon bloat. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. So, this individual um, is having experiences of inflammation and having issues even when eating fruit, which means the digestive system, there's irritable bowel syndrome, there's inflammation, whatever you want to call it, there's some serious problems with the digestive system if it's having trouble when you're eating fruit. Fruit is a natural anti inflammatory food. It helps to rebuild the digestive system. It creates peristalsis, which is an electric wave that moves through the body to slough off old stuff. So if this person's having issues with even eating fruit, that means that the digestive system is in a sad state of affairs. And if people are experiencing even celiac disease and some wheat intolerances, I would say that yes, wheat is horrible in the sense that it's processed and the things that are happening with the wheat in this day and age. But if you're getting a good organic type of grain like barley and rye, these grains have been known to be some of the most healing food for the digestive system and some of the most strengthening food for the body in general for thousands of years. There's entire cultures that live on wheat and they thrive on it. And so the issue is that because people have been eating processed foods, they've been eating meats and different things that are really hard on the digestive system, over time and distance, these foods will irritate the digestive system when they're eaten. So, if you have digestive issues and you go to eat some positive form of wheat, some sprouted grain or something that's good, the wheat actually has a capacity to heal the digestive system. But when it starts the healing process, that can be very uncomfortable due to the fact that the digestive system is so damaged. So there's a vast population of individuals that stop eating wheat altogether and believe that it's dangerous and it's not good for you. And there's articles by every Tom, Dick, and Harry, saying that wheat is poison. And I just do not buy that whatsoever. I think that people's digestive systems are highly damaged due to the processed foods and artificial things that have been put into, the food chain for years and years and years. And if the individual would take the time to fast and to clear the digestive system and to heal it properly, they would have no issues with eating sprouted grains or wheats and different things and eating a healthier diet. So I hope that makes sense. And in this case, with this individual, um, I would, seriously look into some extended juice fasts with doing colonics or enemas on a daily basis. Every 3 to 4 days, doing a salt flush just to move everything out of the body. The salts can help in the repair of the digestive system as well. But it's obvious to me that the mucosal lining has become thick. It's become, plaque. It's blocking the digestive system, causing inflammation and causing a lot of problems. So, really, just fasting and giving the digestive system time to heal, where it's not having to deal with anything other than healing itself. The nice thing about the colon is when all of a sudden you start to, I would recommend some form of maybe colon cleansing, if it's not too much, pain for this individual. And then moving into a juice fast and probably fasting for at least 21 days of drinking a variety of different juices: apple juice, orange juice, papaya, pineapple, Kabbalah juice, carrot, apple, beet, lots of greens, lots of vegetable juice, and a variety, and whatever you're craving as well. A lot of people, go into a juice fast and don't know what to do. It's just like juice whatever. If you're not eating food, you're on a juice fast, you're getting a massive amount of micronutrients, a massive amount of phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals and different things. Don't worry about it. Just drink what your body's craving. If you're craving orange juice, drink orange juice. If you're craving green juices, drink green juices. It does not matter. If you just drink green juice the whole time, your body would heal, it'd become alkaline, it'd become fantastic, it would do amazing things. If you just drank fruit juice the whole time, your body would become alkaline, it would heal, and it would do amazing things. So let's not major in minor things. let's just look at the whole big picture and understand that fasting has a beautiful capacity for healing and regenerating the digestive system. Now, for years, I've been, sharing this Tolman method of fasting, and in fact, the pictures that I'm sharing with you from, my different juice fasts that you can see are people that have come and experienced this Tolman method of fasting, and it's a method of receiving rejuvenating energy from the sun, from water, whether it be ocean water, whether it be bathing in water, very specific exercises to do each day with breathing exercises, how much to be in the sun, different types of body awakening exercises that open up the meridians and the energy channels of the body. So, all of these things are very important when you're fasting. So I recommend when you go on a fast, you don't just, oh, I'm just going to drink juice and do whatever. Like really following a program of waking up early in the morning, drinking water first. Even if you're on a juice fast, have a liter of water first with a pinch of salt. Maybe do an oil pull. Take some coconut oil and put it in your mouth and swish it around for 15 minutes. This draws a lot of the toxicity from the circulatory system, from your body, helps you to eliminate it, which can help. Breathing exercises. I have 7 rounds of 7 audio. I'd be more than happy to share with you guys or email to you. If you go to my Facebook page and simply write me a message and say, hey, Tyler, I would love your 7 rounds of 7 breathing audio, and then just leave your email. I'll send you the email to you. And it's simply me counting in for 7, hold for 7, out for 7, hold for 7, 7 times. And that breathing exercise can absolutely bring oxygen into the body, expel loads of acid. There's a massive amount of acid that the body eliminates through deep breathing. The lymphatic system is moving, all these beautiful things happening. So, yeah, there's specific things that we should be about, and kind of an order of things that we can include into our lifestyle when we're experiencing, a juice fast or a water fast that will make it a pleasant experience. I can tell you, I've had individuals, come to me that have done water fasts in the past, that hated their life and they couldn't get through it, and it was the most horrible thing they've ever experienced. And then we do a water fast together, and it's some of the most amazing breakthroughs, energy, connection that they've ever experienced in their entire life. So I can tell you, there's ways to go about things. People hear about water fasting, from the Bible, and people like Gandhi and Pythagoras and Don Tolman and myself. But a lot of times they hear about this information, they think they can just go off and do a fast. And yes, anybody can. Anybody can just stop eating and start drinking juice or do drink water. But the energy of how you're starting a fast, why you're doing the fast, the books you're reading, the energy of what you're wanting to create, and the things that you do each moment of that day really have a profound impact on the enlightenment that can come through fasting. And yes, enlightenment does come through fasting. There's no faster way to become enlightened than to fast. Literally. You're doing enemas, colonics, you're drinking water, you are becoming enlightened. Your entire body is becoming lighter. You're rending the veil, which is the blockage that's happening within the body, and you're raising the vibration of the body through this process. So I apologize. I get off track sometimes, and I love to just talk about things I'm passionate about. Let me get back to these questions. So, the next question I have here, let me just pop onto this. Throughout history, we hear about men fasting like Jesus, and even you doing 40 days. Have women been known to fast as well? Is it good for women to go on a long fast due to their menstrual cycle? And what about iron? Also, very skinny people. Okay. So again, studies that have been done at Whole Biological Laboratories in Chicago. I recommend just really Googling this and looking into all the scientific experiments and the papers that have come out of there. They show absolutely there's no mineral deficiency, there's no iron deficiency. your body has stores that can take you well past 90 days without any form of food whatsoever. It's an inbuilt system that the body has in case of famine or in case of injury. Every mammal on the planet will fast when it's injured or sick. So it's inbuilt. And yes, women can fast very long periods of time as well. Your question about skinniness, I had a woman, her name is Carrie Smith, Carrie Eden Smith. You can look her up. She's written books now about it. She went through a 40-day water fast when she was already fairly thin. And she ended her water fast on my 7-day juice fast that I held on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. And, you know, she's still very alive. She did absolutely phenomenal in the fast. There were some things that I would have facilitated for her before she arrived. But yes, even women can fast for long periods. If you ask me specifically, or my father, about a woman doing an extended water fast, we tend to look at the cycles of the moon, a 28-day period, and I think 28-day water fast for a woman is absolute maximum period of time to do a water fast. But again, many women feel driven to do 40 days, and I've seen them get through it, and absolutely transformation coming through that process. So don't worry about the iron. Don't worry about being too skinny. Just recently, I had 3 individuals come on an extended water fast who were already quite thin when they started and did absolutely fantastic. But you also have to listen to your body. I also recommend having somebody to facilitate you through the fast, somebody that can keep your energy high, keep you focused on what your goals are, keep you going on very specific rituals that should be done every single day. So if you can have somebody facilitate the fast, it's that much better. If it's a juice fast and you're not going for a very long period of time, I think that's something that you can probably figure out on your own. But it's good to have somebody to check in with. Next question that I have here is, how do I increase kidney and bladder function? So thank you for that question. How do I increase kidney and bladder function? Well, this is the whole urinary system. The kidneys, the main function of the kidneys is to keep your blood from getting too acidic. So people that tend to eat a high protein diet, eat a lot of meat, or even have a lot of protein shakes and different things like that, thinking they're building muscle with it, can really be really tough on the kidneys. A lot of people have kidney issues, which can also cause chronic fatigue because it's related to the adrenals and many other issues. The first thing I would say about boosting kidney function and having overall healthy kidneys would be to maintain a level of drinking water throughout the entire day. People that go from dehydration to drinking a whole liter at once, the kidneys also regulate the amount of hydration in the blood, so that can be quite tough on the kidneys. And again, it's not going to be as tough as drinking soda pop or any type of processed type of thing that the kidney has to filter out, or the liver does that, but it still has to deal with the acidicness that takes place in the bloodstream. So drinking water throughout the entire day is going to help you to maintain proper levels of hydration in your body. Believe it or not, sunshine, vitamin D and sunshine creates a hormone that regulates phosphorus and calcium, which if you regulate these things in the blood, then it won't be really tough on the kidneys. So getting out in the sun is very healthy for the blood, very healthy for your kidneys. Juicing, anytime you're juicing, fruits and vegetables and things of that nature are very cleansing for the kidneys. Absolutely fantastic. Exercise is going to be good for building function of the kidneys. Walking in general, anything that can de-stress you, because when you're stressed out all the time, the hormones that are released by the adrenals and through the kidneys function balance out stress. So if you're always stressed, you're going to have stress on your kidneys. So exercising, I find, having some form of exercise or sport that really gets you to push and sweat and push yourself really can be a de-stressor. Getting out in the sun can de-stress you. Finding things, a hot bath can be really good for a de-stressor. Rituals like that can be really helpful. Foods, asparagus, believe it or not, asparagus is absolutely fantastic for soothing the urinary system. It assists and builds kidney function. It eliminates excess toxicity that can accumulate um, in the kidneys. It helps with excess fluid. It breaks up the acid that can be stored inside the kidneys. So, asparagus, broccoli, different cruciferous vegetables are very good for this as well. Kidney beans. Yeah, so overall hydration, juicing, fasting, all these things are going to be fantastic. I will tell you that if you do a water fast and you've had a high protein diet, that your kidneys will start to soften up. I've had this with just about every single person I put on a water fast. About 5, 6, 7 days in, all of a sudden their lower back is just in really agonizing pain. It's because the kidneys start to soften up and start to heal, which is a beautiful process to have happen, because the kidneys really take a brunt of a lot of the toxicity that the body deals with. Next question I have, um, my 11-month-old has a skin condition that cleared up. Let's see, 11-month-old has skin problem. Could it be the water that we drink? Because I went away and it cleared up, and then when I came home, it came back again. Have tried everything and nothing works. Um, Thank you for that question. What I would say is it could be the water that you're using, but it's most likely the furniture in your house. Many kids end up having skin conditions from the formaldehyde that's off gassed by the couch. So if you've, in the last 6 months bought a new couch, or you have new carpet, or you have new seats, or it could even possibly be the chemicals that you're using for washing your child's sheets. Simply sleeping on sheets that have been washed in Tide or some other form of chemical can cause skin reactions. So it really could be a plethora of things that are taking place, and it really takes some conscious effort to look at your furniture, what kind of chemicals you're using in washing, the different things that you have in your home, and really becoming eco-friendly, finding the detergents and things that don't cause any types of issues, that are non, you know, allergenic and all that good type of stuff. If it is the water, then you can always just buy a water filter for the shower, and take showers, or a water filter for under the counter, or even getting a whole system for your house. But I intuitively, I think it's more of a furniture or some type of chemical that you're using in your laundry. And even, my dad experienced this a few years ago with his son. Had just a massive skin condition show up, and they couldn't figure out what it was. And then they figured out it was this beautiful brand new couch that they had bought, and it was off gassing formaldehyde. And as soon as we went through this process, took different bowls of apple cider vinegar and put lemon, like literally cut a lemon and put it in there. We took bicarb of soda in different bowls and put different things into it, and we put it around the room. And if you simply Google this, natural ways to eliminate benzene or formaldehyde from furniture, you'll find these different articles that show there's actual things that you can put in the house, open up all your doors and windows, and leave for 8 hours a day, and just have that stuff out, and it really sucks a lot of those chemicals out of your furniture. So yeah, that's what I would say that probably is. Work on your water. Make sure you don't have fluoride and too much chlorine in your bath water, and especially in your drinking water. And then look at the furniture in your house. And I'm going to move on to the next question here. Let's see. I had someone ask, how do I share truth with a loved one that they might be opposed to? And I'd say if you have a significant other or somebody that you love, and you really just have something, a burning truth that you're wanting to share, and obviously this may affect the person because you're wanting them to change, whether it be dietary, I'm not sure what you're asking. But I would say that, communication is a very big part of relationships, and if you can't really communicate, is your relationship really all that great? And I would say probably not. So, you should really be open to communicating with a significant other, with anybody in your family, and just sit down and have a real conversation, about what you believe and what you find your truth to be, and just share that and hope that the other person is willing and open to look at that. And if you come from a pure place and not an attacking place, just a place of wanting to share, then I think at the very least, you're going to be planting seeds in that person's mind about the possibilities of making change. And if the person really loves you and wants to be with you and please you and have growth and evolve as a relationship, then I think they'll be open to it. I've had some questions about how do I change my inner dialogue? How do I be a more positive person? And I think this is something that a lot of individuals deal with. We want to be positive. We want to be happy. We want to create beautiful lives. We know that we're the creators of our life. The law of attraction plays out in so many different things, and just constantly being in that energy of feeling good and having positive thoughts and projecting positive things attracts those things into our life. A thing like unto itself is drawn. So as we are more positive and upbeat and have positive thoughts, we'll attract positive, upbeat people with positive thoughts as well. And I know that, at different times, based on the scenario and our surroundings, our environment, we tend to have negative thoughts and negative things that come up. And I would say, if you're asking the question, then at least you're identifying it. And that's a really big step to know that you're having negative thoughts and negative dialogue internally. The best thing that you can do is really become a third party to it, to understand that the you that is having the conversation that's negative inside of your mind is not really you. Otherwise, you couldn't really recognize it and change it. But you can. The you that is really the ultimate soul, the ultimate being of who you are, recognizes that there's this subconscious recorder or thing happening over and over that's negative, that's possibly a programming from when you were a child, from a relationship with parents or with other people. And if you notice it coming up, pattern interrupts are the best way to go about it. Simple, just a pattern interrupt. You notice that you have something negative and you notice it, and just say, oh, thank you, I'm going to decide to think about something positive now. And just stating that, saying that, and recognizing it and interrupting it and changing your thoughts and thinking about anything in your life that could be beautiful, um, is the steps to working towards having more positive attitude and changing that inner dialogue. I had a person ask, why am I no longer going to do any juice fasts? I don't know if you guys have seen the slides that I've been putting up. I do have a couple of slides on here that I've been sharing about the water fast and the juice fast that I do have coming up. In April, I'm facilitating a water fast from April 1st um, all the way through the month. And then on April 19th, I'm starting a 7-day juice fast. And this is for individuals who want to come and learn the Tolman method of fasting and healing, and share and be a part of the 7 principles of health. And, it's an adventure as well. So it's a vacation, it's a detox program, and it's an absolute adventure. We go whitewater rafting and snorkeling, and we learn a lot about sustainability at the Green School. Um, different forms of gardening and things of that nature. But the reason I don't have any future events planned is because I haven't been traveling like I have the last 3 to 5 years. For many years, I was traveling and doing tours every couple of months. And since having a beautiful baby, I've been spending a lot of time at home, and I just haven't taken the time and energy to do the marketing for these. And it's a really full on event. It's an amazing event. I absolutely love the connection and the transformation that takes place during these events. Um, and in saying that, it is a full on event, and it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of money to organize these things. So for the time being, I do not have a future event scheduled past the April event. So as far as I know, this is the last juice fast I will be facilitating. I know there's a lot of people out there that have heard about my programs, that have it on their dream board, that really want to come to these programs. And everybody just assumes that Tyler Tolman's this superhero that's going to be running fast for the rest of his life, and I can go to it next year or the year after that. But the fact is, yes, I am a superhero, but I don't know if I can facilitate these events 2 to 4 times a year. So this is the last one coming up. If you want to be a part of it, I would love to have you there. There's already quite a few beautiful people registered coming to this event. It's going to be exciting. If you want to know more, you can go to this little bit.ly link, http colon / bit.ly / all capital letters TT programs. If you just register your interest, we'll send you a flyer and some information about what's happening during these events and the different costs associated and stuff like that. So, next question. I had somebody ask about how to eliminate viruses. Now, if you're not aware, my father took a group of individuals on a water fast in Pensacola, Florida, back in the 90s, early 90s. And he had an individual there that was HIV positive, had AIDS. And after the water fast, juice fast, colon detox, and everything, the gentleman went home and actually had tests and was registered HIV negative. And as you know, this isn't the only person that's ever done that. There's been other individuals who have been able to reverse the AIDS virus and even eliminate it. So this person was asking about syphilis as well and other viruses. Now, one thing I want to say is I absolutely believe there's not a disease that exists that cannot be eliminated from the human experience. We are an organism with a beautiful capacity to heal ourselves and to eliminate toxicity, viruses, bacteria from our bodies. And I know some people believe that, once you have a virus, it'll be there forever, but I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because I know the power of fasting. I know the power that the body has. I know the power of the mind. And when we have the will and we apply the principles of healing through natural principles, our bodies can eliminate even the strongest of virus and disease that exists. And if you look at it, things like garlic, it's a proven fact that garlic kills 99.9% of viruses. And now the percentage thing, that's just something that, scientists have thrown in there. It kills viruses, period. It kills 100%. They just have to say 99.9% for their research and studies and whatever, for their claims. If you look at things like colloidal silver, colloidal silver kills 99.9% of viruses, of bad bacteria. So these are just two things out of a plethora of different tools that can be used to absolutely eliminate viruses from the body. Now, if I were to drink a heap of water, do a colon cleanse, clean out the tubes of my body, the largest tube being the colon, and get rid of mucoid plaque and all this stuff that's stuck in there, and then my body's going to start working on all of the other cells. Now, if I inundate my bloodstream with garlic, if I absolutely inundate my bloodstream, my lymphatic stream, and my entire body with colloidal silver, which is known to kill 99.9% of viruses, guess what's going to happen? That's right. Those viruses will be killed. They will be removed from the system. Your body can be a temple of light. It can eliminate all of the darkness. It can eliminate the viruses. It can eliminate the bad bacteria as long as we no longer feed it. Once you have a virus, once you have bacterial infections in the body, as long as we continue to feed those things with food and with toxicity and all kinds of different stuff, they're going to thrive for the rest of your life. Yes. So if you're an average person that receives a virus, you're going to have it for the rest of your life. But if you learn about principles of fasting and foods and things that can be used for eliminating viruses, then that's absolutely not the truth. And the proof is in the pudding. And I've seen it with my own eyes. And I promise you, if you have some type of virus or thing and you want to eliminate it, I'll give you 100% money back guarantee. Let me take you on an extended fast, and I will prove to you 100% that viruses can be eliminated from the body. Okay, fructose debate. I had somebody ask about fructose and the body, people that, can't uptake fructose, and is fructose horrible? It just comes back again. Fructose is crystallized sun energy. The sun comes down with its perfect light, and it comes through our atmosphere, and it takes in a situation of mixing with water, and we have these intelligent seeds that are planted in the ground. There's no sugar in the soil. There's no fructose in the soil. It's not sweet, but this seed starts to grow with simply a situation of water and minerals and sunshine. And when that sunshine becomes crystallized and becomes matter, plants have the ability to focus different forms and colors of light and offer that as an offering to these things called animals and even humans, so that we can receive the vibration of the different colors of light, whether it be red or orange or green or blue or purple. Each vibrational tone of light has the capacity to give the body the vibration that it needs to build a different set of building blocks that the body uses for health and for regeneration and different things. And the body needs these building blocks from the color red, from the color orange, from the color blue, from the color green, from the color yellow, and all of these things. So fructose is the delivery system for crystallized sunlight. So anybody that comes to me and says, "Hey, Tyler, fructose is bad for you," and it's, whatever, talk to the hand. You've been indoctrinated. People have told you that too much fruit is bad because it's got sugar, and those very people telling you that are probably sick. They probably have candida. They probably have digestive issues and problems that they're dealing with themselves, and they really don't know what they're talking about. They're really just looking at the last, naturopath or nutritionist or certified person that heard it from someone else, and it's really just this big confusing bunch of garbage. And when it comes down to it, health is simple. Eat fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, and grains. Plants are good for you. Get out in the sun, go for a walk. And, I can't really give you the scientific proof other than look at me and look at the healthiest individuals on the planet. And yes, they're eating a high amount of fruit and vegetables and getting out in the sun and going for a walk. So, if you have fructose intolerance, what do you do? Now, there's a brilliant scientist by the name of Bruce Lipton, and he's factually taken cells that are lactose intolerance, and he put them into a medium of lactose only, which means there's these cells that cannot break down the nutrition from milk. They lack a very specific enzyme. These cells have mutated over time and distance, and they absolutely cannot take nutrition from milk. And what they've discovered is that when you put cells into a stressful situation of only having milk as a nutrient, that they will actually transform, they will actually genetically modify themselves in this stressful situation and start to produce amylase and different enzymes that can break down milk. So if you're in a situation where your body is fructose intolerant, I recommend putting it into a stressful situation of only having fructose. Go on a juice fast. Mono diet on fruit. And yeah, you'll have an experience of maybe, some stressfulness for the first couple, 2, 3 to 5 days. And then all of a sudden your body will figure out that it's in a situation of only being able to receive its nutrition from fructose and other things. And the DNA will literally change itself. It will literally modify itself, and you'll be able to break down fructose. Same thing if you are lactose intolerant. If you went on a fast for 21 days on raw goat's milk or cow's milk, yes, you'd be able to receive the nutrition from it, and your body would start to break it down, and you wouldn't have a problem over time and distance. Do I recommend living on raw milk? Not really. There's lots of other plant-based materials that you can use. But if it's something you want to do, whatever floats your boat. Another person asked me about coconut oil on the face. Absolutely. I've been putting coconut oil on my body and on my face for many years. Absolutely love it. And my skin is beautiful. Varicose veins. What do I do for varicose veins? One individual said they had very painful varicose veins. I'd recommend doing a juice fast or a water fast, becoming very hydrated, drinking 3 to 4 liters of water per day, and then making a poultice out of some large veiny greens. If you look at kale and like silver beet, they have these large veins traveling throughout the leafy green materials. Those veins will actually open up your veins. They'll actually open out and clear the circulatory system. So put a lot of that silver beet into your juice. I'd recommend 21 days on Kabbalah juice, which is carrot, apple, beet, apple, lemon, and apple. And the reason I say apple 3 different times is there's 3 different colors of apples. You'll be integrating the 7 colors of the rainbow. Use the tops of your beets, which is the greens for the juice. Use the top of your carrots, and do a 21-day Kabbalah juice fast. This will open up and clear the circulatory system. And then you can make a poultice. And what you do is you take those large green vegetables and you put them into a blender with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and salt, and you blend it up into a thick paste. And then you take that thick paste and you can wrap it, let's say, in like a paper towel, or you can wrap it in like a tea bag or something like this. And then you actually place it on the place, maybe on your legs where you have the varicose veins, and then wrap it. And you can use, one of those wraps for an injury, or you can wrap it with whatever you can find and leave that poultice on the actual skin in that area when you sleep at night. So for the next, 21 days, do Kabbalah juice fast and put this poultice on your body. Maybe do some hot cold therapy. Get into a very hot bath and sit there for 5 minutes, piping hot with salt water, and then jump out into a cold shower, and then go back and forth a couple times. Do that for a while. Gua sha as well will be very beneficial, especially the oil on the skin with the little tool and scraping your skin would be absolutely fantastic. Next question. Will the vegetable glycerin in your toothpaste prevent mineral absorption by your teeth? Wherever you got your toothpaste ingredients from, I don't know, but it wasn't me because I don't include vegetable glycerin in my toothpaste. So I wouldn't use it personally. I would just go to a simplicity of bicarb of soda. So if you take any size container, fill it with bicarb of soda 90%, then add about 10% really fine sea salt. If you can't find sea salt, then grind it in a little mortar and pestle until it's a powder. Mix it all together. So that's 90% bicarb, 10% salt. And then add, if it's a small container, let's say 100 mils, that you just want to make a small container for your toothpaste, I recommend using spearmint oil, pure essential oil of spearmint and peppermint. And you put about 20 drops of each. Give it a good stir, and you'll have the most fantastic tooth powder on the planet. If you don't like tooth powder, then you can add coconut oil and give it a good mix until it's a nice paste. And then you'll have toothpaste. And it won't have the fluoride, which is going to destroy your health and your teeth. It won't have all the sugar and saccharins and stuff that's disgusting. So there you go. I had another person ask me about face charts. They wanted to really get into looking at the face closely and what to look for. The things that you're looking for are very large pores or clogged pores. You're looking for acne, pimples. You're looking for rash. You're looking for discoloration in the skin, whether it be yellow, like jaundice looking. You're looking for all kinds of things. You're looking for very fine lines. So if you're looking around your eyes, which represent the kidneys, even just small little lines that are running through mean that there's stress happening in the kidneys. If you have darkness of the kidneys, it means there's too much acid. It means that they're really taxed and you're going to have lethargy. Nobody wants to have bags under their eyes. A lot of times the bags under the eyes are retention of fluid by the body, which shows up in the kidneys as well. So having a little bit of salt added to your water throughout the day, just a small pinch, can regulate the amount of fluid in the cells and in your bloodstream. And again, fasting can clear these things up. But looking at these fine lines can really help you to identify different issues that are happening with different organs. So, what I will do, in fact, what I will do is just after this webinar, I'm going to post the face glyphic on my Facebook wall. And you can simply go to my Facebook wall and download that glyphic onto your laptop or and onto your computer, and you can take a look at it and really study these things. And the face is a beautiful place to start because you can be more beautiful. If your kidneys are stressed and you have lines around your eyes, if you have crow's feet, it means you have liver and pancreas problems. If you have lines that show up around your nose, the little lines that go down to your mouth, that's digestive issues. And I promise you, as you start to get into a healthy lifestyle, if you start to fast, as you start to do all of these things, those lines will clear up. I don't care if you're 70. If you spend an entire year detoxing your body and building your organs, those lines will clear up. Hydration and internal detoxification will absolutely work wonders. Yes, you can be beautiful and young again. There's also a beautiful book called Heal Your Face. Again, that's Heal Your Face by Marcus Rothkranz. One of the most profound books that changed my life. It got me into iridology and sclerology and face glyphics years ago. I highly recommend it. Marcus Rothkranz is a good friend of my family as well. Yeah, fantastic guy. So check it out. I had another question about mental issues. Can fasting and dietary changes change mental issues from psychosis to empathy, Alzheimer's, forgetfulness, helplessness? And I would say absolutely. Your mental health is directly tied into your physical health as well. It's definitely tied into nutrition. If your brain is lacking nutrition, it's lacking function. If it has plaque in it, there's something called lipofuscin plaque that exists that accumulates in the brain. If you're lacking the nutrients from walnuts and pecans and circulation, if you don't use it, you lose it. Yes, this is true. All of these things can be helped greatly through fasting. And one thing specifically about water fasting is it really creates self reflection and it really opens up a level of who you truly are and why you're here and contemplation, which can I think correct a lot of mental problems that people have had in the past. When it comes to forgetfulness, I would say there's nothing you can do on this planet to improve memory more than a water fast. And I've had very specific, profound experiences in my memory through fasting that cannot be described with words. Memory, the word mem, is an ancient Hebrew word that means water. And ori simply means light. So memory is a reflection of light off of water. And as we calm our waters and we fast and we detoxify the pond of our mind, there is a clear reflection that takes place. And I believe as we fast, we have the ability to see every recording that we've ever had access to. Everything that you've ever seen your entire life, everything that you've ever seen is absolutely recorded. And I know this through personal experience. You have access to seeing your first day at school from first grade all the way up to seventh grade. You have access to remembering all of your friends, all of your family, all of your experiences, and having perfect recall. It's just your dedication to what amount of clarity do you want. And you can have this experience through fasting. And I can tell you it's some of the greatest experience you will ever have. Um, yeah, I think, opening up, having empathy for others was one of them, helplessness. I think, through fasting, you really get a clear grip on, your emotions and who you are. You strip away a lot of the trapped emotions, a lot of the blockages of the heart, and things just really open up. So I would say 100%. I'd say if anybody has mental issues and they go through levels of fasting, And again, it comes back to the Tolman method of fasting, being out in the sun, being in nature, going for walks. Walking can balance, problems with the mind. People that have psychosis, simply walking for an hour a day can absolutely transform you. Breathing, it's a known fact if you're depressed, or if you have manic depressant, or if you have, you know, different types of issues, breathing exercises absolutely correct that. So doing these things while fasting can be absolutely profound. I had another individual ask about the 30-day adventure. What the effects will be of that? What kind of detox symptoms can they expect? And obviously, this is going to vary for every individual that does this. But again, it is whole food. You can do this while working. You can do this while in your daily life. It's beautiful. It's very dense. It's nutrient dense. It's very satisfying and filling. I would say at first, the first 5 to 7 days of eating this food, you may feel hungry, but it's not really hunger. It's more of a habit of eating too much. So you just crave eating a lot of food. And the way that I would say you could satisfy that is just eating as much fruit as you want, as much salad as you want. Eat as much as you want. In fact, I recommend trying to overdo it with salad and fruits and different things at first. And you'll find that after about 5 to 6, 7 days on the 30-day adventure, all of a sudden you'll just be satisfied. You'll be nutritionally satiated, and you won't feel like overeating. You find balance. This person also asked about the 4-day colon cleanse, if they needed time off work. Not really. I did the first 4-day colon cleanse that I did. I was working in a restaurant and I was busy. Every 2 hours, I went back and I did the mix and I ate it, and I just kept doing what I was doing, make sure I drank a lot of water. Yeah, I think you'll be fine. I'd say around the fourth day, you'll just have third and fourth day, you'll just feel like you need to go to the bathroom like regular, but you'll have massive movements. And that's if you're starting with a pretty decent digestive system. I'd say for 70% of people that do my colon cleanse, they'll feel backed up and constipated for at least 3 days, probably even 4 days, but you will be cleaning stuff out. I think that the colon cleanse should be done once at least every few months to maintain a healthy digestive system. One way to know that if you have a healthy digestive system is you'll be going to the toilet at least 30 to 45 minutes after eating a meal. When you eat a solid meal, whether it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner, within 45 minutes you should be going to the toilet and having a bowel movement. I'm not saying you're eliminating that meal, but by eating a decent amount of food, that causes peristaltic action, which tells the colon to eliminate a certain amount of food to make room for what just came in. And if you have a healthy digestive system, you will go to the bathroom 30 to 45 minutes after having a meal. And I'm like clockwork with this. If I go out and I have a meal, absolutely typically within 20 minutes, I'm off to go to the bathroom. I have a quick, nice little bowel movement, and I'm back bouncing around after that. So that was actually wow. That was actually all of the questions I got. I don't think I've ever gotten through all the questions that I've had before listed online. So I feel really good about that. It's been about an hour. Let's see. Yeah, an hour and 8 minutes. So thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I do have a few more questions that people have asked just on this questions panel. Lala asked, how many water juice fasting can you do in 1 year? Well, you can do as much as you'd like. In fact, I know an individual that went an entire year on just juice. So when it comes to juice fasting, as much as you like, the more the merrier. I really believe that this age of Aquarius we're moving into is a liquiditarian age. I really think that we should be getting a high amount of nutrients with a low amount of impact that our body has to digest through. Um, so yeah, can you overdo it? Maybe if you're fasting all the time and you're really skinny and you're just obsessed with it, then let's have a conversation. But I really think that fasting is a beautiful thing. And if you took a week out of every month to do it, I don't think it would be too much. So it's just up to you. I think a couple times a year is fantastic. Spring cleaning, and then maybe going into the fall, doing a 7 to 10 day fast. What I try to do is at least fast every quarter. So that's 4 times a year. I have many other friends that do this. John Abbott's a good friend of mine. Him and his wife do a 10-day water fast once every quarter, and it really keeps him on track, and it really is just a fantastic thing. His eyesight is improved. He's got rid of celiac disease. He had a skin condition that was pretty nasty that's absolutely gone. And every time he does a water fast, he's got other breakthroughs that are happening. He feels younger. He looks younger. He's definitely a lot fitter. When I first met him, he had quite a bit of a paunch on him. And this is just one person I'm talking about because he lives close to me. But there's hundreds of individuals that I know and that my father's affected that do quite, a couple of fasts every year and maintain a beautiful lifestyle in between. And I think that's the most natural thing any human being could do. So, with that, let me see. I do have some others here. Oh, Tyler, would you recommend fluid retention or fluid on your lungs? What do you recommend for fluid retention or fluid on the lungs? I would recommend, putting a little bit of salt into your water because this will regulate the amount of fluid in your body. To drink 3 to 4 liters of water, 1 liter per 22 kgs of body weight, and probably about a teaspoon into one of those liters per day. About a teaspoon of salt. We constantly are eliminating salt through perspiration, through peeing and different things. If you can eat celery and cruciferous vegetables, we're getting sodium from our food, but having a little bit extra is fantastic for warding off bad bacteria and infections and good for regulating hydration and all that good stuff. So, with that, I just want to thank you guys for being on this webinar. This has just been for questions and answers. Again, I do have a few events that I'm putting on in April. If you want to be there in person and actually experience these things, I more than welcome you to come along. Just register your interest at that bit.ly link. Again, I'm doing a water fast. I'm also doing a juice fast. And another thing that I'm starting soon is my coaching. I have a 7-week coaching course called Self Care Boot Camp. And if you're the type of person that really needs a kick in the ass and you want to transform your life, I only take people that are willing to transform and step up. It will be 100% transformation. It's 100% money back guarantee as well. I will not accept people that are not willing to get to their goals, and I promise you that I will get you there in 7 weeks. It'll start out a little bit slow with very specific things. We have Google Hangouts, which is a face-to-face latest technology where we'll be looking at each other, about 10 of us online, and I'll be coaching 10 people through it. And it's going to be a fantastic experience. So if you're also interested in that, you can register your interest to be one of those 10 people during my 7-week program. Daily accountability, and I promise you in 7 weeks you will achieve your goals. We'll specifically have a conversation about what your goals are and be very realistic about it, and I will make sure 100% you reach those goals. So that's different ways that you can be more involved with myself through coaching or through personal live workshops, events that I do, which are fasting and absolutely fantastic. So I just want to say I love you all. I love seeing the names on here of people that I've connected with in the past. Thank you guys for being of support. If there's new people on here, thank you for coming here. Next week webinar, I will be educating. So it'll be a lot about what's going on in the world, how to avoid toxicity in your daily life through the foods that you're eating, the personal care products you're putting on your body, and then very specific, very profound ways to boost your metabolism, to live a healthier life, to live the 7 principles of life. Next week, I'll be talking about that. So thank you guys for being on here. Please look on Facebook. I'll be posting the link to the next webinars. I do record these, but I'll be honest, I'm very lazy with posting them on YouTube. So it's always best to be in person. Yeah, so love you guys. Thank you so much. Let's all live healthy and be happy. and change this world. We have a generation of beautiful young individuals coming in. We want to make it a beautiful world for them, and it all starts with me. It all starts with you. So this has been Tyler Tolman. Have a beautiful day. This is Tyler signing off. Catch you next time. Cheers.